All right, folks, it's Dave here. And as you can see, I'm not on StreamYard. I am with Streamlabs Talk Studio, which is probably the way I'm going to go because I just got my notification from StreamYard that my rates are going through the roof. Now, there's a few things here that I'm checking out. I don't see any way I can upload a thumbnail. I might have to figure that out. Maybe that's with the pro. I'm still on the free version here. If you can believe it, my StreamYard rates are going from $35 a month to almost $70 a month. I think it's more than I think it's 100% increase. And that's not going to happen. Okay. I don't have that kind of money. They wanted to charge me, I don't know, between $800 and $900 a year to keep my StreamYard account. And currently I was paying $400. So I'm like, nope, ain't gonna happen, you know? Um, so anyway, uh, so a couple things going on. First off, yeah, the StreamYard is going away next month, right around Thanksgiving. It's going away. So I'm going to phase over here or phase into the Streamlabs Talk Studio. It's kind of similar. So if you guys want to put in a chat, I can show you what comes up on the screen with the chat. So it's kind of similar to that, to the StreamYard. There's some things that I like better. There's some things that StreamYard did better. Obviously, I'm more versed with StreamYard because I've been using them for years, but they're going away. I already told them. They sent me the email and they said, hey, by the way, we're going to be charging you up the yin-yang for StreamYard. I'm like, yeah, I'm canceling. So I will be canceling shortly there. So I'm going to have to learn how to do this. The good thing about this is that this is even cheaper than what I was paying for StreamYard. So I'll be able to save a couple dollars a month by coming over here. And hopefully I can accomplish everything. I did run some tests earlier and it seemed to work out pretty well. I'm going to do a couple things here and see if we can test out those as well here. I'm only in 720p tonight because once I upgrade, I can go to 1080p. But for right now, that's where we are. Now, let me just see if I can go into my own channel here, and I'm going to post a chat to see if this works. And I just got to get the chat to come up. I don't know why my YouTube chat takes a little while to come up here, but I will post some of the chat things here to show you what it looks like. All right, so that's the first thing. So StreamYard is we're done. We're done with StreamYard. We can't do that anymore. It's just too expensive. So we're going to be getting rid of the StreamYard and coming over here to something like this. Unless there's the other one there. There was 2 or 3 I looked at. This one was the closest to StreamYard, so I'm going to probably stay here. So that's the first thing is hopefully you won't notice too many changes. It should look still pretty well. Once I upgrade to the pro version of this, I can use my second camera. I can go 1080p, and hopefully we'll be right back to where we were with this stuff. The second thing is if you're a Patreon of ours, Apple is changing the way, or Patreon and Apple are having a discussion on how they're doing things. So if you signed up with Patreon on the iPhone, I think there's going to be a change to that. I'm not sure what it is. Hopefully things are just going to go smooth, but there was something going on with Patreon and Apple. And so I don't know what's going to happen with it. Just keep an eye on that. If I notice a dramatic fall off on Patreon, I'll let everybody know that everybody didn't get renewed or whatever it is. But keep an eye on that if you're a Patreon member, that something's going on. If you signed up on your phone or if you signed up online, now you have to sign up on your phone. I don't know what it is, but we're working on that. And we'll take a look at the chat here. Fenner comes by. Okay, so yeah, see, that does work. It does work pretty well. Okay, so I can put Fenner up there and I can kind of put it here whenever I want. Okay, so it does work fairly similar. Okay. Now, if I were to see if I can get on there, for some reason my chat wasn't working on the internet here. Sometimes even when I go to other people's chat too, it takes a while for the chat to load. But on the iPhone, it works pretty well. So let me just go. This is Dave. All right, so I can have a few to work from here. Okay, Andrew comes by as well. And again, I'm just running some tests here. So that's the first thing was the StreamYard. That's going away as Andrew comes on here. All righty. And I don't see mine yet. That's kind of, well, there's mine right there. So double click to update. I don't know what that means. And then here's mine. And I can change how that looks there, but I can show, and so I can still put up the chats. Oh, it's down the bottom. It shows me the highlighted one too, so that's kind of neat. It just seems, again, I'm not at the 1080p, so this is still 720p. But it's going to be the closest thing I can find to StreamYard. Again, once I go pro, I'll be able to do the second camera, and hopefully everything will go well here. But I'm just kind of playing around. It looks very similar. There's some things it does different. All right, so what else is there? Gideon comes by. We haven't talked in a while. Thanks for coming by. I'm not sure. There's double click to update. Not sure what that means. There's a couple things here behind the scenes I'm looking around with. All right, so let's talk about a couple of other things here. Let me just turn up my volume here. My new head. This is the weirdest thing. I got to do a review on these headbuds here. These cushions. They've changed how my headphones sound. So I don't know if they sound better or worse, but compared to the old ones, I think because they're further away from the ear, and they, when I push them in, I get a little bit louder and it gets a little bit clearer. So it is what it is. So a couple things here. So do I look as tired as I feel? Because I'm going on week 5 without a day off, and my workload just keeps increasing. I think I picked up another junior team, a local team to do. So I'm just working my tail off here. I did sneak in some Apple hockey and hockey bones here on the channel. I'm dying to play Apple football. I just don't have the 2 or 3 hours to set it up and play right now. I don't have that block of time. I'm hoping Sunday will be my first day off in 5 weeks or 6 weeks. And I'm going to, aside from sleep, I'm going to try to play some Apple football. I need to play the 75 Super Bowl because I picked up 1975. And that's the reason I picked it up, so I could play some Vikings and some Steelers. So I'll play that Super Bowl. And, Bob gave me 1972 football. So I was looking, and I was either going to play like the Jets and the Redskins or the Jets and the Patriots. And I'm looking around at doing that. What I'm trying to do is, I just posted this on Facebook a little while ago, is I'm trying to figure out, if you look at a team, let's just say you take the 72 Jets. I'm trying to figure out how often they passed to how often they ran. Because what I'd like to do is, let's just say it's a 60-40 split run to pass. Just for example, I'd like to roll, and if it comes up, 40% or less, or 60% would be the run, let's say. So 60% run. So, 1 to 60 would be a run, and 61 to 100 would be a pass. And that would just help me kind of balance it out a little bit instead of having to keep track of every single play. Obviously, if they start losing, I'll pass more. But I'm trying to figure out a good way to figure out run and pass percentages for each team. And I went to Pro Football Reference, and I guess I could look at the total plays and divide it up that way, but I don't know if there was an easier way. So let me know what you guys use if you're trying to figure out runs and pass ratios for that. So just let me know. So I'm trying to figure out that. As Fenner comes by, he says, excited to tell us he's back to Apple Baseball 1905. I have 1905. I'm pretty happy about that. I have 1905. I think I have 1905 and 1908, and I might have been gifted them both by one of the listeners. He said, you want 1905? And he goes, Ron's talking about 1908. So I think I have them both. So I'm going to break those out. But I want to show you something here. Michael comes by. Hi, Michael. Boy, we haven't chatted in a while, huh? We've done a lot of chatting about what's coming up in Connecticut next May. But we're kind of in a lull right now. We're just kind of waiting on the final word from the hotel. Then we'll release the price info for the event, and then we'll release the code for the hotel as well, so we can get all that booked in the whole bit and squared away. I need to get down there whenever I get a day off. It's probably going to be after the holidays. I'm going to try to get down there and do a test run and set up the TV and the cameras and the streaming and just make sure everything works like I think it's going to work. And then that way there's no surprises when I go back down here. And I saw one of the videos you did. I don't think I saw the one you playing, but I did see the one you had the chart and you were talking about the chart and the whole bit. So I did watch that video. All right, something I want to show you guys here, because I'm trying to keep a happy face on while I'm just going from job to job to job and really not playing anything. But let me just show you this. This is Seasons on the Wish List. So we're going to call this Seasons on the Wish List, okay? And this is something that I was kind of amusing myself while I was at work, because there's sometimes I'm just scorekeeping and it's kind of boring, and I'm just okay. Let me figure out something to keep my mind occupied on fun things. Okay, and one of those things was some seasons I don't have, and just kind of a wish list of things. And I'm looking around like, why would I get this in the whole bit? So here's what I come up with for a list here, and you guys can chime in whether live in the chat room or after the fact. So here's some of the things I was looking at. So I'm looking at the Apple hockey, some seasons I don't have. And for some reason I don't have 77, 78. That's one I don't have. Again, it's just another Montreal championship. But there's a couple of teams in there I would like to play. So I don't have that one there. And that's one I'm interested in. I don't think I have 76 either. That's another season I just don't, for some reason, not big on. Oh, wait, I do have 77, 78. Oh, I got to change that. Yeah, I do have 77, 78. So I got to take that one off the app. So we'll cancel that one out. And let me go with 88, 89. That's the Calgary Flames or the Canadians. And then 2000, 2001, Ray Bork with Colorado. So that's kind of on my list there. A couple teams there, a couple things I was looking at there. The Hockey Bones, they don't have a ton in print that I don't have, but here's some they don't that I don't have that you can get from drive-through, and that's 60-61. That's fairly inexpensive, so I should probably just pick that off because it's only 6 teams. And again, the thing about Hockey Bones I like is they card everyone. So, maybe if you played one shift, they don't card you, but I'm pretty sure that 99% of the players are carded for Hockey Bones, if not 100%. So 73, 74, I do have that in APA, and I might even have that in Strat and a few other things, but I don't have that in Hockey Bones. And that's another Golden Seals terrible season type of thing there. Then 82, 83, 83, 84, 84, 85, these are all Gretzky seasons that I probably should get and have some Gretzky things. The thing is, I don't do a lot of long hockey projects. I like to go over here on the shelf and just pick a couple of teams and play them and just have some fun that way. I have done some Stanley Cups and I have done some what ifs and things like that, but there's a few ideas there for hockey. So between the Hockey Bones and Apple Hockey, those are a few seasons that I don't have that I was kind of kicking around. Now that brings us to Apple Baseball and why. Oh, here's got a couple people in the chat here. And Anthony says Salted Pro Football is great. Yeah, they just released 97. So if you want to skip down to the bottom real quick, 1997 was just released. So I'm thinking about, I'm not sure why I would play that, but that was just released. So I'm thinking about that. Fenner says he's doing a Stone Cold Hockey 22-23 tournament. The Bruins won their first game in overtime. That's pretty good. And football 270. Yeah, they don't have a football 77. That's the thing, Sports Time Machine. What streaming tool am I using? This is Streamlabs Talk Studio, it's called. Okay. You can see it said powered by Talk Studio right above my head up here, right here. Okay. It's very similar to StreamYard. I am using the free version, which works quite well, but you only get one camera and you get the 720. I'm looking into going pro, and I probably will when I have more time to test out second cameras and things, but it's called Streamlabs Talk Studio. And I believe if you get it for the year, it's $10 a month or $12, $12 a month. So it's $144 for the year. So $12 compared to 70 something for StreamYard. It's a no-brainer. We won't be doing StreamYard at $80 a month. So we'll be switching over here. So I just got to figure out how to make things work. And that's why I'm kind of testing this out. And I'll probably be using this quite a bit as I try to get used to it. But I think this is the way I'm going to go. I tested out a few of them, and this is the one that I like the best. So yes, so I'm using Streamlabs Talk Studio is what it is. Now I know OBS is free, but this is for the $12 a month. This is very similar to StreamYard. So if you're looking to stream and put up chat and the whole bit, this is probably the way to go. Now I do have I think it's just Streamlabs is what it's called here. Yeah, I do have the Streamlabs, which I use too, which doesn't have all the chat features. It's just kind of the, I think I don't know if it's free or not. It might be $10 a month. I forget now. I think it is free, the one I'm using. It's just a whole different setup. It's very similar to OBS. I think it's an OBS product is what it is. And I use that a lot too when I'm not using the chat feature. When I'm playing a lot of games, I have a lot of different things that are on the screen. That's what I like to use. But StreamYard was great for things like this, Drink of choice, Larry says, I am drinking the Polar Seltzer Pineapple Lemonade is what it is. The pineapple lemonade is what I got going on here tonight. And I'm going to probably be picking up. I don't know if I'm going to get a hot coffee or an iced coffee. I got to go to the rink tonight in about an hour. And it's been cold. And Fenner wants 1889 for baseball and for APA baseball and deep drive. What do I have over here? I have some old APA stuff here. I know I have 1899 that I got from Chris White. I think I have 1883 World Series from APA. I think I bought a couple of World Series things from them. And okay, so you've used that and it's pretty good. Yeah, so far it's going okay. It's different. So you got to keep in mind that it's not StreamYard. It's very different, but it seems to work pretty well. 1991 APA Braves Twins rematch. That's another one there. Gandalf loves the Polar Seltzer. Yeah, I switched over. I went 6 or 7 years without drinking soda. I did well because I drank a lot of Diet Pepsi and things like that. And I got rid of that because I thought that it was hurting my stomach because all kinds of stomach problems. So I switched out. I got rid of that, and I basically now just drink iced coffee, decaf, and then water and sugar-free Gatorade is kind of my drinks of choice. But then I switched over to the seltzers here, and I've been enjoying that. But every now and then I like a nice Diet Coke or Diet Pepsi. I'll go to Burger King once a month or something like that, and you got to have the nice ice cold Diet. And today we went out to a sandwich shop, and I got a nice Diet Pepsi. And I shouldn't be doing that, but it's only once in a while, so I can sneak those in. But I did go 6 or 7 years without it. Didn't really, I don't know if it helped or hurt. Probably didn't hurt not drinking the junk, but this stuff here, it's so clear. Again, it's a clear liquid and just a little bit of flavor, so I do like that. All right, continuing on. So there's the hockey, APA hockey and the hockey bones. So again, some Bobby Orr 73-74 season would be nice. 77-78 I do have for APA, but I don't have for hockey bones. And then a couple of Gretzky seasons for hockey bones as well. Then there's a lot of new seasons they have, but I don't really play the 20 teens or the 2020s for any of the newer stuff. Just not my thing. APA baseball. So let's go to APA baseball now. So, I wonder if I can chat from here. Can I chat from here? I don't know if that'll show up. Yeah, so I can chat from my own screen now. So that's kind of neat. So I can write you guys a message if I have to. So APA baseball. Here's what I had in mind for APA baseball. So I had 73. I don't know why I bought 73. Because 74 has got the A's that I like to play. And so I had 1973 and ended up swapping that out for an APA football season. And so I don't have 73 anymore. And I remember buying that going, why did I buy 73? Something must have been on my mind to buy 73. But 74 would come back into play. Okay, 74 is back in play. So I can play those A's. I just like the A's, and I think Hank Aaron was still playing a little bit. There's still some guys that a little bit before my time that I'd like to play, the Lou Brocks and guys like that. So you get that, early to mid 70s baseball feel with that. 77 I don't have. Again, I have 78, 79, and 80. So those are my 3 seasons I have in 88. So I only have 4 APA baseball seasons left. 77, again, that's right in my wheelhouse. It's a Yankees-Dodgers thing. Again, not my 2 favorite teams by any means, but it's something I'm familiar with, so that's kind of on the list too. 86 Red Sox, but still tough to play. Still tough to play 86, but it's something that I recognize a lot of the guys. 95, I talk to Juckett about this all the time. 1995 was a year that I was playing a lot of ice hockey, and we had a couple guys in the ice hockey team who were super into the Red Sox. So when we played that summer, we would get out of hockey and head down to the bar for something to eat and a beer. And a couple guys were big into the Sox. So I ended up watching the Sox and following along with some of those guys there. So 95 is another one. Now I know they got bumped out by Cleveland, but it'd be fun to play Sox Atlanta to see how they worked out, or maybe play that Cleveland Boston series again to see how it shanked out. I have it in season ticket baseball. I think that's the only one I have 95 in, aside from Downey games, which you have different seasons. But I think as far as carded, I think season ticket baseball is the only one that I have 1995 with. And then, of course, 2004. I have that with Strat. Believe it or not, I bought that with Strat way back in the day. Now I think they're out of stock on that, but I do have 2004 with Strat. So I could play that with Strat. But the thing about what I really, really like about Appa Baseball is I can pull it out right now, have 5 minutes of setup, just pull out my lineup, count the defense, and I'm off and running. And the cards fit on the table here. I can use the Al Wilson baseball field, and I can play a game. And I just pull out my book, and it's so simple. Appa Basic is just so simple. I really like Appa Basic. Okay, look at my hair; it's a mess here. Whatever, here I have lefts all over the place. How the hell with it? And so that's what's been great is I just been so tired. Like I could come home here, like right now, if I wasn't going to work, I could pull out and play Appa Baseball, but that's all I have the attention span for. I really don't have the attention span to pull out something big or a long game or a complicated game. So Appa Basic Baseball it's always been the perfect game for me when I'm just short on time or I'm tired. So that's why I thought about another season with that. It'd be kind of fun to play those, 2004 Red Sox, but as Juckett says, I'd probably never get by the Yankees. And even the Cardinals, I probably wouldn't beat. But again, this is something I was just kind of doing at the rink, just kind of having some fun with it. So I'm like, let's have some fun and just whatever. Let's talk about some wish list things. Fanta comes by, 1921 payoff pitch, Ruth with the Yankees. Yeah, I almost put payoff pitch on the list. I haven't played payoff pitch in a while. I was kind of hoping they had 95, but they don't. Again, I haven't played payoff pitch in quite some time. And I love these old seasons, early 1900s with pitchers has to hit. Yeah. Yep. And so then that brings us down to Appa football. And I just took a peek at some of the seasons I have for Appa football. And what I do is I see what I have and I compare them to what's available because they don't have every season. They're backfilling. They're doing a decent job on Appa football of filling in some seasons. I probably could have added 1980 to this list because they just added 70 and 80. Not really interested in 70, but I would be interested in 80 because I do have excuse me. I do have 78 and I have 81 and 79 is the older set. So they haven't, as soon as they redo that, I'll probably pick up that. But I do have an older set of 79 that I bought. And that's kind of fun. It's a little different. And I played that in Ohio there. And that was kind of fun. Me and Jeff sat down and played a little bit of Appa football. And he was showing me, a couple neat things about the older set. So it was like, oh, okay, this is really not as bad as I thought, the older football cards with the older charts. So that was kind of fun to see. But a couple things I would look at that's in stock is 85 is new. So I would probably think about picking that up, maybe 1980 and then 2007. Again, that's like the 1986 of baseball for me, where it's they got right to the end and didn't win it. And it's tough to play, and I know we won plenty of Super Bowls and the whole bit, but it's it's still tough. I mean, it'd be fun to play them all the way through to see if I could go undefeated. And that's what I might do. I need to pull out, again, I talked earlier, I need to get the 72 set out that Bob gave me because I want to play some of the Namath games and Billy Kilmer with the Redskins and the whole bit. And just kind of pick off some one-offs with that. That could be kind of fun. And the same with 75. I want to play that Super Bowl again. I just want to get Fran Tarkenton on the table and play that, but I just don't have the time right now to set up a big Appa game of football. I am watching people play it on YouTube. I'll put it on at night, and then they'll film a quarter at a time, and I'll follow along and just be like, oh, man, I wish I was playing that. Then Solitaire Pro Football. We just talked about that real quick. 1997 was released, Solitaire Pro Football, and that's obviously it's only probably about 10, $12, and I could pick that up. And that's a deal. I mean, when you buy a season for Solitaire Pro Football, you get like 144 pages, right? So you got the teams that was it the 28 or 32 teams or whatever it is. So you can print out the team sheets, and then you get a couple of stat sheets for each team. That's why the packet is so big. So with each team, you might even get 3. So you might get like 90 pages of stat. Now, you don't got to print them out, but if you want to, you can pick which stat sheet you like and print that out for that team every time they play a game. And he does a good job. You get the quick play chart that you can play and get some quick results in a whole bit. It's quite the package with Solitaire Pro Football. It's right now it's Ron's favorite game. I think he's playing that offline. I wish he would play it online, even if he just showed the helper and just kind of showed off how you play that game. I know he couldn't show the roles or anything, but he could kind of describe it, and that's a super fun game. Solitaire Pro Football is so fun. That was sneaking into the top of my gaming list recently too when I was playing a lot, because there's no setup. It's 2 teams on a sheet, and boom, you put them right here on the table, and you just start rolling. And you don't even roll; you flip cards because it's all fast action cards, and it's pretty fun. What am I? I'm gonna get you a nice American flag thong. How about that? I'll send you a thong, a digital to dice thong. All right, the one that Al Red Sox fan has. Do I have Stone Cold Hockey Central Cities? No, I don't. I don't play much of the fake. The fictional stuff. I have I think I have the first season, and that was kind of fun. But I didn't get any of the newer stuff. I didn't. That's one thing I didn't do. So, but anyway, so that's some of the things I'm looking at here. I have to fix my list here. I have to take off 77, 78 because I have that, and then I need to add over here the baseball or the football 1980. So I'll fix that at some point, and that'll be that. So let me see if I can end that. And yep, okay. And so if I look over here, I got a couple different views here. So I can go full, I can go this, and I can even go a little bit less. So if I wanted to put a big background behind me, I could. So a couple different things here I could do. So if I go to my design and so I got a little snow. If I want some snow, I got a Christmas tree. These are all that come with it here. This one ain't too bad either. I think that's the one I was using. And a few different things here. And a lot of them you have to buy. But it's something. I don't mind it at all. I'm gonna have to get used to this because I told you again. I really come on and I talked to you about a couple things again. The Patreon is changing. If you have an iPhone, I think, or if you're through Apple, somehow it's not going to be as automatic. So hopefully it's not going to wreck anything on your end or our end. But if it does, I'll let you know. But yeah, so if you're a Patreon here of Digital to Dice, there's something going on with the iPhone that you may have to resubscribe, or it may be it may just be a smooth transition. I don't know, but they gave me a heads up, something about the Apple and the iPhone, and so you might want to get on the computer and do it. I don't know. We'll find out. And then also, StreamYard's going away, at least for me, and so we won't be doing StreamYard anymore. And just my little wish list of games that I was looking at here again, kind of keep myself amused at the rink because I just been there so much. I sit there and I make my notes and I go on the website and see what's available for printed seasons. And I say, oh, do I have this? Do I have that? And just here's my list of seasons that I would like to get. And which one will I get? Now, most of these that I showed you here on my list, probably not going to be on sale on Black Friday because the Hockey Bones at Drive-Thru Cards really doesn't go on sale. And the Apple stuff never goes on sale. So I do have a pretty big list of Black Friday things I want to get. Probably some Action PC games and seasons. I'd like to get the new basketball and try that out. Strat hockey I want to get. I don't know if I'll get any seasons, but the new Strat hockey's out, so I'll probably upgrade to the Strat hockey. And things like that. I got a few play things on my list that I might get to for Black Friday. And I'm trying to think what else there was. There was a handful of things I was looking at. Maybe sometimes Joe will have a sale at Payoff Pitch, so we'll look at that too. And I'm looking over here at my list of games. Or anything else jump out at me? Not really. So, and what am I using? I am using right above me over here. It says Talk Studio. So this is Streamlabs Talk Studio. Now, sometimes when you see me in Studio B and I get the Studio B graphics, that's Streamlabs OBS. It's a version of OBS. I think it's actually free, I think. And that's what I use when I do some of my broadcasts. When I do my chat broadcasts, it's always StreamYard. And well, they're going away, so I need to find something new with the chat. I think the Streamlabs, you can incorporate the chat, but this Talk Studio thing is just so much nicer. And for $12 a month, I'm probably going to have to go with that. And that'll get me my extra camera. Because sometimes I like to just kind of jump right into something like this and get my overhead camera, and I can play APA hockey or baseball, whatever, football, whatever it is. And if I don't need to be showing off like Excel and all these other things there, because I don't think, if I'm looking in here, I don't think I can show off. I can only have one other thing on the screen. So I can show a screen, an application window. I can show my entire screen if I want, or things like that. Just out of kicks, I wonder if I could show off Excel. Although I wouldn't be able to. Yeah, that's the other thing, is I could show off Excel, but I wouldn't be able to crop it. So I could show this, right? I could show that, but I couldn't crop it down, I don't think, and have the other camera going. So there's some things I need to go back to the Streamlabs to do the OBS part of it. But for the most part, yeah, I think this is working out okay. It's going to be a change, but I'll save a couple of bucks a month, and I won't be paying through the nose. Why did they do that? So many people are writing in saying, "Why StreamYard? Why did you double your rates?" Because a lot of people on StreamYard are just like myself and you guys, and we can't be shelling out $70, $80 a month for the new price plan. It's like, are you kidding me? That's just dumb. I mean, maybe if you're a high production studio, yeah, that's what they're going with, but they're just gonna, you wonder what's gonna happen once they price out or outprice, or they force everybody like us out. You're gonna be losing hundreds, if not thousands of people. You wonder if they're gonna make up for that with the price rate increase. I don't know. But I'm going to come over here, and hopefully they'll keep their rates down over here, and this seems to be okay. And once I go pro, I'll go to the 1080, and I'll have a second camera, and hopefully I'll be back to right where I was before StreamYard lost their way. And it's too bad, because Dan engaged with great people. I remember chatting with them in the early days. They recognized my name when I put it in the chat, and they would always say hi. They both played hockey, so we would talk hockey once in a while. Every now and then I'd send them an email. They were going to come on the show at one point there and talk about StreamYard. Remember when we all switched over from like Google Hangouts when they shut down the StreamYard? The guy was actually going to come on the show. And now here it is. Was it 5-6 years later, whatever it's been? And they've sold it a couple of times. Now they're not even involved, I don't think. So good for them. They made their money and did their thing. But yeah, the rest of us here, it's not what they probably thought it was going to turn out to be, because I think they turned this out to be a Google Hangouts replacement, and now it's just gone completely expensive, completely corporate, and they priced a lot of people out. Philip, StreamYard is not going away. You can still use the free version if you want. I'm not sure how all that's going to work, but things are changing rapidly over there. I'm not sure what you'll be able to use for free or how long you can go. I mean, they're really pushing the paid stuff. And yeah, my subscription plan was going to go from $35 to $70 a month. That's nuts. If they went to 40, if they went up $5, I'd stay with them. Not that I want to pay more, but I would have stayed with them, but not for that. That's no, I don't have that kind of money. And Rob, did someone say wings with a spicy buffalo blue dip? Yeah, I know. I think I'd call this wings and things, didn't I? It's called wings and things. I had to put in wings there. I had hockey bones, so that's like bones and bone in and bone out, right? Anyway, hey, I know the World Series is coming up tonight, so I wanted just to jump on before that and say hi. Haven't talked to you guys in a while. I might slip on some afternoon this week. Okay. I might slip on and play something. I'm working Tuesday night. I have the roller hockey podcast Wednesdays. I think we do. Then Halloween is Thursday night. I'm working Thursday afternoon and Friday morning, Friday afternoon, Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon and night. And I think Sunday I'm filing off. I'd like to sneak in something before then, but at some point, I need to play something. I see all you guys playing, and I get on my phone. I'm at the rink. I'm like, oh, look at this guy playing. I've been following demos. He's been playing 73 World Series with Strat. I've been following that. That's been fun because that was a World Series I wanted to play too. So I've been following that. Chuck has been doing his baseball, so I catch that at noon. But I see all you guys playing these things, and it's just like, man, I haven't been able to play. But that's why I put up my list. And an ID comes by, IID. Super classy bones to my body. Yeah, I know. Glad to see me up close and in person again. I am in person. I'm only in 720 because I need to upgrade this to 1080 when I go pro to get the pro plan. It's still very affordable though, so I'm looking forward to upgrading to 1080. And I did fix my camera. I don't know if you guys noticed that. I have this Logitech. I don't know what number it is. It's a Logitech something or other camera. Brio, Logitech Brio, I think it is. That's the camera that I'm using right here. And you could see the lines. Like, when I'm sitting here monitoring myself, I could see like scrolling line through there. And Jacka could see that when we chatted on Facebook. And I had that for years, and I couldn't figure out how to get rid of it. And it was just bugging me enough because it's like, man, it's supposed to be 1080p and a good feed, and it's not. And I thought it was my video card, and maybe there's something that wasn't compatible. Turns out, when I did the search for it, they said to change it from 60 hertz to 50 hertz. And then as soon as I changed the camera refresh rate from 60 to 50, it went away. Just like that. And it was something that stupid, just a setting. And then it was like, now it's all, there's no more lines in the screen, and the refresh rate is fine. And yeah, so I found that out. That was driving me nuts because I could sit here looking at the screen. I could see the lines going like down and down and down. It's like, oh, come on. So I was like, maybe the camera's busted. Nope, that's all it was. But anyway, yeah. So let me put this pull this up one more time here. If I can I'll call it for those of you that just arrived late. Let me call up my my wish list here. So this is I'll show you how I share the screen here. So we're going to go share my screen. And here we go. And can I get that on here? Yep, there we go. So again, this is my little wish list here of things I'm looking to get that won't be on sale on Black Friday. So the Apple Hockey, again, 77.78. I already went over that. I already have that, so that's not going to be a deal. But maybe 88.89 Calgary Flames. Play some Hockey Lube and Theo Fleury and Mike Vernon, guys like that. I think Al McInnes was on that team too. Or 2001 Ray Bork. That's a possibility too. For Hockey Bones, 60-61. It's really not that expensive, so that's something I could probably pick up fairly inexpensive and have that. I think the Blackhawks won that year. 73-74, another fun Seals season. They were terrible, but I can play some more Bobby Orr that season. I think that's the Flyers Cup. Was that the Flyers Sabres Cup, or was that 75-76? I forget now. So Bruins won 71-72. 72-73 was Montreal, Chicago. 73-74. Oh boy. I'm the hockey guy. I should know this, right? I should know this. It should be at the top of my head. Was that the one of the Flyers there? No. Oh, that was Flyers Bruins. I forgot about that one. And then the Flyers beat the Sabres. And so the Flyers won 2 in a row, but then they got knocked over in 75 by the Canadiens. So that was Flyers Bruins. So that might be a fun one to play. 73-74. Come on, that wasn't before your time. You were in high school, right? 77, 78 for Bones. That's just another fun season there. And then all the 80s is the Gretzky seasons. APA baseball, as I talked about. Hockey Lube was a Canuck killer, Rob says. Yep, he was. Best name in hockey, Hawkin Lube. Still remember that. 74, I like my A's in 74. There's just some fun things about 74. 77, again, it's in my wheelhouse. That's when I started to play baseball in 76. So I started following it in 77. Sox were a decent team. So I have 78, 79, 80. 77 would fit nicely in that, but 74 might work too. 90, 86, we don't know what happened in 86, but it still might be fun because I still know all those guys. And 95 was a fun year that I followed the Sox a little bit, and then 2004. So some wish list items here. APA football, I need to add 80 to that list, so I get 85 in 2007 and 1980. I know 85, the Bears clubbed the Patriots, but still that was a fun run by the Pats. 80, I know the Raiders won. I wasn't too crazy about the Raiders over the Eagles, but that was a good one too. And 2007, again, fun year for the Pats until the end. And then Solitaire Pro Football just released 1997. Not sure if I'm a big fan of 97, but it's something I was thinking about. So anyway, so that's what I was on. As Dwayne comes by, I was watching him play his APA baseball the other day, and that was fun. And yeah, I've been doing more watching than playing. Just, but hopefully when the paycheck comes in, I'll be able to buy a season or something and have an unboxing, and then be yay, it was all worth it. But I this is as busy as I've been in 10 years. I don't think I've been this busy in about 10 years. Good to be busy, but at the same time, a little older now. I don't want to be quite as busy. I want to be playing stuff like you guys are. But anyway. All right, well, I'm going to jump out here because guess what? I am going to work. I'm going back to the rink. Yeah, that's where I got to go. Cutter Historical comes by. No extra points to miss tonight, so that's good. And he's excited about releasing debut PC Replay Baseball Tourney. I saw something about that. I did. I saw something about that. Bernie comes by. Hi, Bernie. So, and again, a question I'm asking here on Facebook that you guys might have caught, might have not caught. How do I figure out, when I pick a football team, how do I figure out their ratio of runs to passes? Because next time I play a game, whether it's Solitaire Pro or App or whatever it is, instead of calling my plays, it'd be nice to roll the dice and say, okay, are we running or passing here? And if they're 60% passing and a 60% run and 40% pass, I'll roll and get an idea what I want to do instead of just calling the plays. Calling the plays is fun, but sometimes it is kind of nice just letting the game play out. I don't know. I like a good mix of that. Sometimes it's fun just watching it play out. So anyway, I don't know how to do that. I got to try to figure that out. And just waiting to see if Stone Cold Hockey will do more classic seasons. I think they will. They've put out a couple of seasons already. I know they're trying to do the newer seasons. That's a lot of people want, but I think they've put out a couple of older ones. So we'll see what goes on. I need to get Gary. I need to get Gary and Grant on too, because we want to have a talk about what's going on with printing, because a lot of people are trying to get away from printing cards and seasons, and we want to talk to them about that, what's going on with that. And I know that the big ones, the Strats and the Appas and stuff like that, they're not getting away from that, but some of the other people are getting away from us. We want to have them on, so we're going to have to do that as well. So but if you haven't seen it, Drive Time Football, we talked to John from Drive Time Football. That looks like it's going to be a fantastic game. It is free. As soon as he gets more seasons, that's going to be fun. And he's still not quite, he's this close to finishing the game. There's a few things he's tacking on because he released the game in beta a few weeks ago. We all started playing it and gave him suggestions, and some really good suggestions that he's going to put into the game. So, but I think he's pretty much done with it. And that's a very, very fast drive-by-drive game. You can play it in under 10 minutes, and you could probably bang on a whole season in a handful of days. And that's something I might try to do because it's so much fun. It really is. But anyway, all right, I'm going to go put on some warm clothes because it's cold up here. And that's how fast things change. A couple of weeks ago, I was complaining how hot it was, and now I'm complaining how cold it is. That's just what we do up here. But anyway, so this is the new look. This is Talk Studio by Streamlabs. Is probably the way I'm going to go. The StreamYard is outpriced just about everybody that's not a corporation. And so that's why we're going to head over, and hopefully that they'll keep their prices low for a little while so we can enjoy that. But I am Dave. I want to thank everybody for tuning in, and we'll talk to you all later. Bye-bye.